Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sims Gaming Nation. If you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. And if you're not a member of Sims Gaming Nation, feel free to subscribe. And if you're already a member, welcome back. Alright, so let's get into it. I have a 5x5 tiny home built for you. Let's take a look. First, starting off, I had to get the basic foundation of the structure the way I wanted it to. And going into this without having any idea of how exactly I wanted it to look left me free to decide as I went along. So my imagination just went crazy as I went. It's a very simple build, but it's pleasing to the eye as well. Well, I was starting with the balcony because I wanted to have an outside balcony. For a house so small, the balcony gave it a little bit more space. As you can tell, the upstairs room is not as big as the downstairs because you didn't need all that space in the bedroom. I felt at least. Some people like really large bedrooms. I don't. Not always, at least. And because of the house being so small, I had to put stairs on the outside, which was fine with me because I do not have sim seasons anyway, so, my sim will never be cold. If you have sim seasons, then I would worry. I started off with a half wall around the balcony, figuring it might give it a nice touch, but I decided to change my mind later on in the video, as you'll see. Picking the door was a bit difficult because of the 5x5 size, which means it wouldn't have been completely even, but I found one that I was okay with. And as you can see now, I'm adding a glass fence around the balcony area instead of the half wall. Deciding the shape for the bathroom was fairly easy for me because I do like angled bathrooms. Now the windows gave me a problem because I wanted the windows to go all the way around the top of the room, but as you can see, I did have a bit of a problem with getting it over the door because it glitches out when you put it over the door, and I had to move up the bathroom window, which I did later on. I went with the stone outside color because I figured it was nice, and then I colored, I don't even know what you call it, the little walls protruding from the house, and I added balconies just to give it a little bit of color. I picked the small door instead of the big one because it would have took up so much space and I wouldn't have enough room for nice sized windows. But I did find a small window to put on top of the roof. If you've seen it, it's kind of going quite fast, but you'll see it in the end video. Don't worry. Picking the color for the room was kind of hard too because I wasn't sure what I really wanted to do with it. I was like, let me just try. But I went with this gorgeous teal. I absolutely love it. And finding a bed to match was fairly easy. I added a wardrobe and an end table in the corner, and I added some paintings just to add a pop of color, and the light behind the bed, which I thought was a nice touch. I scaled up the flowers. The bathroom was a bit of a problem because there wasn't enough room for a sink, which kind of bothered me a bit, but I was like, you know what, forget it, no sink then. But don't worry, it's a fully functioning house. The kitchen does have a sink, so your Sims can just go wash their hands in the kitchen. You'll be fine. Finding the light that I wanted to was kind of hard because none of them kind of fit the bathroom decor until I went with these long ones, which I didn't really like that much, but they were better than whatever else I had. Finding a rug for the shower because you know you need one. And onto the kitchen, guys. The kitchen has very expensive appliances, but I didn't add a top counter, and figure out the layout of the kitchen was a bit difficult for me because I wasn't sure how I wanted it to look. But once I got it, I got it. I wanted to make sure that there was enough room for a table and chair so your Sims can sit down, or at least my Sims can sit down. And if I didn't tell you guys this earlier, this is not on PC, it is on PlayStation 4. But don't worry, I will be getting the PC Sims 4 very soon. And I will definitely upload some houses so you guys can grab. I went with this, I don't know what you call it, like a tannish color for the kitchen, which was kind of off-putting at first. But as I went along and started adding shelves instead of cabinets to add more stuff, because you have a tiny home, you're going to need more shelving space to add more stuff for anything, your spice racks. So getting that up there was a bit of a problem too, but I got it to work. Yeah, see, I tried the counters and I realized I just didn't like the counter. So I was like, no, we're not doing that. I found some nice kitchen decor to add to the counters. And I also found some things to put on the shelf. It took me a minute to find stuff because I'm not used to looking for decor for my kitchen. I added a nice wall decoration to break away from all that tanned color. And I added a little greenery too. I was going to start off with the living room as yellow because I figured the yellow and tan went nice together, but the yellows just kept throwing me off so much that I did end up changing it in the end. And you'll see later. I was trying different things and nothing seemed to work. But, you know, I kept trying, so I finally got a color that I thought was nice and also matched the couch. Because that's what I do. I had to find a color that matched the couch because I wanted the couch to have a good color. But I didn't want it to be something that was going to break away from the entire decor of the house. And I went with this nice red. And I did the same for the rest of the living room. The bathroom wall is what separates the kitchen decor from the living room decor, so it's white. And I was going to try to see if I can add an armchair, but I realized there is no room for one. So I was like, no, we're not doing that. I did add a gorgeous painting. I had to scale it down, but I found a nice color that I thought suited the room. And there you go. I have to add some stuff for the shelves. That is not on center. I realized that when I went through the video, but I did go back and fix it. Doing this was really hard because it didn't sit on the shelf on its own, so I had to place it there myself. So that's what gave me a bit of a problem. As you can see, this is just so much work. Spice. And I think I added crushed peppers, yeah. Peppers. Just to add something to the shelving to make the kitchen look a little bit more homey. The pots were a headache. I had to shrink down the pots and I had to shrink down that. And I think the pots, as I look now, are not on center either. Yeah, they're not. I went to go fix it. Good. I thought I did. There we go. Looking through the flowers, trying to find something to place up there with it. And I did find a nice yellow flower I thought worked really nicely. And now the floor. I went for a wood because I felt like it flowed with everything very nicely. The rug I added was gorgeous. Wait and see, guys. It's a really nice rug, and it kind of pulls everything together really nicely when you look at it. I love how everything flows now. Now for the outside. I added stone. I'm going to change it. I don't like that one. It's too close to the house color. So I did change it. To something that's going to be a little bit different. There we go. Made the path to the house. Getting that there also gave me a headache. I did end up fixing that. I didn't like it. So I ended up fixing it. And as you can see, trying to get that to stick to the foundation of the house was so hard. Like, I honestly just gave up on the back because it just didn't want to work. And for the front, I just literally added some shrubbery to cover it up. It was too big, but I did find this nice circular bush that I liked. And see, getting things next to the foundation is so hard. Hopefully they'll fix that later. Nothing seemed to work. Then I went for the squares, which can be beautifully overlapped over each other without any problem. Had to move the bushes out a bit. I forgot a trash bin, so I had to put one right there in the corner. Everything works fine, everybody. Don't worry about it. Even with the trash bin there, I've checked. Adding some flowers to the sides to give it a little pop of color. Wildflowers. And then I went to go add some trees, I think was next. Had to move it, I didn't want it to mess with my view. And I'm adding some greenery around the edge of the balcony, which I'm going to fence off with a small little white fence along the edge. But I figured it would be nice to have the greenery there as well. Especially when you look out the window while you lay on your bed. You can see a little mini garden, I like to call it, outside of, your room window on the second story, which I thought was nice. I wanted to add a little tree there, but it just didn't seem to fit right. So I just, 86 didn't call it no. But I think it came out really nice with the flowers that I did add because it just seems to flow. They light up. They're really gorgeous. Adding a table outside. Added some more greenery with a potted plant and that nice candle setup, which is going to light up everything up. So I had to pick a light for the outside, and I went with the flower light, which I thought was really nice, which added a little bit more of an accent to the garden. I wanted to see how nicely the house was lit up, so I did look at it again at night. I decided to add an outside light just as the final touch, and I realized I didn't have a mailbox. Well, now I'm all finished, and we're gonna have a nice look at the house. This is the kitchen. I actually really kind of love the kitchen. It has everything that you'll need. It's a very simple color for a simple house. I love the red, which breaks up the monotony of the color a bit. So I thought that was really gorgeous. That's the outside balcony. Beautiful. And here's the bedroom. I like the purple and pink paintings to give it a nice pop of color. And the view outside is amazing. Well, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed my video.